Hello, welcome back to Heretic Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey. This is a reading for the 3-5 Human Design Profile or the Martyr Heretic. If you don't know your Human Design Profile, there is a link in the description below for you to get your Human Design Body Graph. And among the bits and pieces of information specific to your design, your profile will be listed on there. Now, no matter where you are in your human design journey, these messages are not meant to be educational. So I try my best not to use a ton of human design language. I really just mean for these to be an additional avenue for guidance or for a message, because not every 3-5 is a Virgo or a Pisces, right? So highly recommend checking out your zodiac sign readings. Those are up also. But anyway, and of course too, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would absolutely love it if you did. This morning, I woke up to an email from YouTube that was like, you got to 1,000 followers or subscribers. So thank you. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. If you're new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. I would love to see that continue to grow and for this community to just get larger, So that reminds me, I need to make a post about that because how exciting. So we're going to do a 3-card spread. The first card is your current energy or, what is surrounding you right now. I also realized, I haven't said this in any other reading, I'll say it in yours, that it occurred to me the other day that I read more like energy than anything. I focus more on energy than anything. And that may not be a huge revelation or whatever. But it kind of is. It kind of is it's when you kind of have those little insights about yourself, you're going along, you're doing your life, you're doing whatever. And then it occurs to you, actually, what I've been doing is, I've been following my intuition. I've been following, even your strategy and authority, since we're talking, human design. If you are familiar or if you've been experimenting with your strategy and authority. But it's like all of a sudden there's some awareness around it. And it just, I don't know, it sinks in, or it I don't know, gives you something to focus on maybe, or I don't know. I clearly haven't really figured that part out yet, but it's just it's things are getting clearer. There's something that I didn't even realize wasn't clear in the first place. And now I have more information about it, which is interesting. On the sidereal side of things, I'm a 3-5 manifesting generator, pure manifesting generator. I know a lot of people in the human design spaces don't consider sidereal as part of human design, and that's fine. I'm not here to make an argument about it, but I do think though, from what I have experienced or even reading a few charts for other people, the sidereal side seems to be how I experience shit, how I experience the world. And the tropical side of things is how it's how other people interact with me, or my energy plus other people, versus sidereal being very more, very much more internal, very much more individual experience, and tropical being more collective experience. And again, I haven't really said that out loud. I'm telling you guys all my little things. It's been 5 minutes and I haven't even pulled I'm sorry. I feel like we're just sitting around chatting. I apologize. But anyway, like I said, I'm not here to like argue about like if it's legit or not. That's just how I always, anytime, like when I was doing more chart readings, I would always pull somebody's sidereal chart as well. And 10 times out of 10, it resonated like very personal, like very individual for them. Okay. Can we actually, I'm like, this whole reading is just going to be us chatting, or like, let's get your cards out. Let's talk about you. For our 3 5s. My apologies. You guys just must be like the type of people too that like people just like talk to, like strangers just tell you stuff. So your current energy is the 4 of Cups. What is leaving is the 8 of Pentacles, and what's coming in is the 3 of Pentacles. And then to clarify the 4 of Cups, we have the Messenger of Air, or the Knight of Swords. We have Patience, or the Temperance card, with the 8 of Pentacles. And then we have the 5 of Swords with the 3 of Pentacles. So we start with the 4 of Cups. And the 4 of Cups usually talks about boredom, lethargy, right? It's like just not very excited about the options that have been presented to you. I also see the 4 of Cups as like emotional in a way, because it's interesting it's even coming through this way. But I just kind of keep getting the image of the traditional 4 of Cups where, there's that person sitting under a tree, there's 3 cups there, and then there's, 1 cup coming out of like nowhere. And it's just kind of being like displeased with the 3 cups that have already been presented to you. But then there's this magical cup that comes out of nowhere, and it's like an offering to you, right? But then I'm thinking, like, from that vision, I guess, because I was seeing that in my head, the 3 of Cups is support from others, right? It's usually a celebration card. It's friendship. It's networking. So when we get to the 4 of Cups, it could be like feeling a lack of connection with people, right? Like apathy a bit, not necessarily feeling like your cups are being filled, or like, you're not feeling supported very much. Like there's nobody else to really like hold those cups, right? I don't know. It's interesting. It's coming through that way. This card talks about like a lull. Let me see specifically what it says. Oh, I opened right to it. Right. Dreaming and introspection, contemplation, trusting the abundance of opportunities. A lull in the action offers a chance for me to dream even bigger than before. Whenever plans turn out not to have come to fruition as expected, I feel secure knowing that even greater things may await me. Like, what a way to turn a frown upside down, like, type of thing. And part of me is like, I'm going to stop it there, because okay, since we're being honest with each other and just being chatty today, I hate when people kind of do that. Like, if I'm feeling a type of way, like if I am feeling disappointed, if I am feeling, not supported, not connected, whatever, right? Just kind of, even if it is like just going through, I mean, it could be a wave, of course, if you are emotionally defined. If you're not, be sure to ask yourself, is this emotion mine or not? Like, try to, send it back to whoever it belongs to, and really, really get down to the bottom of like, whose emotion is this? If it is mine, what is it? Right? Like, what do I want to do about it? But I hate when people like have to reframe every negative experience into a positive. And I know people are just trying to help, because it's hard to see people, and especially your loved ones, right? Like your friends, your family, whatever. It's hard to see people in a space of disappointment, right? Or see things just not work out the way that somebody wanted them to. But okay, I know that's like a personal thing of mine. I'm just like, can I just be in this disappointment for a second? Like, because there is a lot of information to be found in disappointment and just those kind of what other people consider to be lower vibes. There's a lot of information because where is that disappointment coming from? Where is your boredom coming from? Is it because of lack of connection? Is it because what you are pouring your emotion and your energy into is actually not the quote unquote correct thing for you? Is there like some sort of like obligation attached to it to where it's like taking the fun out of things? Like, are you trying to do it the way that somebody else would do it so that it's not really authentic to you, and maybe that's why it's not working out, right? Like, there's a lot of information to be found in there if we allow ourselves to sit in it for a second. And that's kind of the other thing too, is like part of the problem just collectively people have is that we don't sit in the emotion of things, right? Like we do try to refocus our perspective or refocus the narrative instead of just feeling whatever it is. The messenger of air says opinions formed by experience, adherence to dogma, allegiance to a way of thinking or acting, a learned response, subconscious programming, and swift reactions or responses. I need to broaden my perspective. I am reacting to a situation from my past. I have to think about whether I want to do things the old way or respond differently this time. I can adapt a new way of thinking and behaving. If I am swift and move quickly, ensuring my actions are for the highest good, positive outcomes are assured. Yeah, like, again, right? Because this is why I feel it is so important to feel our feelings, right? Because then we can recognize a cycle of behavior that we are in. Like, when this thing happens or when I get to this point, then I experience this emotion or I experience this thing. And that's usually where I stop or where I pivot or where I start, kind of reacting to things based on like an old, experience or way of doing things. So clearly there is an opportunity here for you to change that. We move on then to the Eight of Pentacles and Patience, which is Temperance. This to me feels like it's like a lesson is like continuously being learned, but like we're not accepting the outcome or the answer, I guess maybe is the better term for it, because the Eight of Pentacles is about putting in work, right? It is like repetitive motion. It's like muscle memory, right? So it's understanding that like you need to focus your time, your resources, your physical presence into a thing in order to master it, right? Like, I mean, any craft, any job, any whatever, like you get better at it because of repetitively doing it, right? Like any job, any hobby, the only way to get better at it is by doing it over and over and over and over again, right? And temperance is like, it's alchemy. It's blending energies together. It's taking one element or taking two elements and creating a completely different element. So that's why, it's called patience, because that takes time. Time and patience. This card says, I am reminded that patience will bring me into recognition of and alignment to my purpose. All my needs are met, even though I may not see it yet in the outer visible world. The angels are looking out for me. Moderation in all things is required right now. The Eight of Pentacles says apprenticeship, gaining knowledge, learning, and employing a new craft or skill. Even masters of their craft have more to learn, and I eagerly embrace the opportunity to go deeper, develop a greater understanding, and find new ways of applying what I know. Yeah, it's like, I honestly, since this is in a position of what is leaving or what is no longer serving you, to me it feels like the apathy or like the boredom, the lack of connection thing is coming from either thinking that you're not ready, or that you don't have enough experience, or that it's not time, or it's not a good time, or whatever, right? It's like blocking your own potential, really, because this would be something that you have been spending a lot of time on. It could even just be the natural evolution, like, of yourself, right? That just experiences happen, you learn stuff from them, you gain wisdom and knowledge, experience, right, from the things. And also too, like, every experience that you have been through, it has been for your purpose. And I hate even, like, saying things like that, because I don't want it to be like taken out of context, right? Like, oh, all this shitty stuff happened to you and it's just, it was meant to be, or it was part of your, like, purpose or whatever. No, like, shitty things fucking happen. And if terrible things have happened to you, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. You did learn something from that. You did gain something from that. There is information in your trauma from that pain, right? And even over here with the 3 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords, I feel like there's an opportunity to share that with people in some aspect. I mean, the 3 of Pentacles is collaboration with others. The 5 of Swords is like, I always see the 5 of Swords as being like a battle of wits. There's usually like conflict or tension involved with 5s anyway. But specifically with the 5 of Swords, there's competition, but it's like mental, right? It's like even like communication, to the way that you're speaking to people, the way that, like in a conflict, the way that you use your words. This is the energy that is coming in though. So if there is a conversation that needs to be had, it needs to be had here. Also too, with that 5th line, on the design side, I feel like, the 5th line does have it doesn't always feel good, of course, but there's, an non-traditional way of doing things. It is like, it's provoking people, it's like projections, right? I mean, that's what comes with the 5th line, is the projection field. Oh my gosh. And I just put together that this is 3-5. Oh my gosh. That is wild, actually. I don't think that has never happened in one of these readings, where the 2 cards in one position is the profile that I'm reading for. This really does, now all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, this is really bringing you into yourself. And it's just not easy. It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been a smooth road. It hasn't, there's been probably a lot of experiences that transformed you in ways that you didn't think. And maybe, there are parts of you that turned to stone, or turned, to ice, or whatever. I'm thinking, and I'm saying these things because I'm thinking of like the Temperance card and alchemy, right? Like 2 elements coming together and boom, something happening, right? But like sometimes it doesn't, the outcome isn't what we thought it was going to be. So, the purpose of that experience was A, but instead B happened, right? So truly, right? The 3 of Pentacles is collaboration with others, right? It's like a group project. Everybody, like there's one goal. Everybody has their assignment or, whatever, their work to do towards that goal. Except I honestly believe that with the Three of Pentacles, everybody actually does their part versus like in real life. There's usually one or two people that don't, with group projects. I used to fucking hate group projects. Anyway, so it does feel very like third liney too, because, the third line is trial and error, right? It's making and breaking bonds with people, with life, with, experiences. It really is like you cannot learn without doing. Somebody can't just tell you the pot is hot, right? You're like, okay, but what is hot to you, right? Like I need to touch it because I need to see what hot is, right? Like you have to do the thing in order to learn the thing. The Five of Swords, again, right? Like with the fifth line, projection, there's a projection field. But also, the fifth line people, this isn't necessarily my experience. I'm a 5-1. So I have the fifth line on the conscious side of things. Traditionally, that's not the word I wanted to use. Generally, maybe. And even in the human design book, like the expensive book, the one that's title I can't remember right now. It says in there that people usually project a positive whatever. Why am I like losing my words all of a sudden? It's like the reading is over. My words are gone. It's probably true. But so with the fifth line, people usually have a positive projection at first, right? Like they see you and they're like, boom, this person can do this for me. Or, they're our hero, because there's a hero complex that comes with the fifth line too. Like they really kind of build you up, right? And if for some reason, which is usually unbeknownst to the fifth line, you do not stand up to or adhere to or, come to the level of that projection, then that's kind of when the whole burning at the stake thing happens, right? It's like the glamour comes off. That's the term that I use. Like, oh no, my glamour is well worn off with literally every single person that I know. And then all of a sudden it's like they, the projection changes, right? So that could even be what is happening in this Five of Swords, because again, right, it is a battle of wits. There is usually some sort of conflict in there, but with the fifth line, it's almost like the person with the fifth line is usually like, what the fuck is happening? And the person who is projecting does not usually understand that they are projecting. You cannot get them to believe that either. Well, at least in my experience, I have not been able to. Nobody has ever said, you know what, Liz, you're right. I am projecting onto you. Man, that would be awesome. So just to wrap this up, because I'm not even sure if I've even been clear about this, what's the energy that's available to you or that is coming in. I hope that something I have said has stuck with you. And if not, I apologize for that. I am just following the energy though. So if you are trying to prevent conflict, like if you are not doing what your intuition, what your strategy and authority, like all of the things, right? If you are blocking your own potential out of fear of conflict with other people, that is where the most growth is going to come from. And two, really, like what's so interesting, I'm looking at these two cards and it almost looks like this could be the same person. Really, because they have darker hair, but also like they're wearing almost the same mask. That's actually interesting. That's interesting. The mask thing. Also, like all these things are starting to come through now that I've like, shut the fuck up. See? Like, a lull. There's information in the lulls. This could also be recognizing where you have tension with other people. Like, is there resistance against working with other people? But also, like, that resistance or like that tension can help you build a stronger team, or like really figure out who you do work well with, and to even just your mindset around connection. Because again, right, like we're talking about with the Four of Cups and the lack of connection, the Three of Pentacles is connection with, I mean, that is what collaboration is. It is connection in, it's like active connection, right? Like there's a collective thing that you guys all, I mean, it could be, getting together in a group or like finding a meetup or something. But it's like your mindset around the thing. Is that what's holding you back? I'm going to leave it there. I feel like I can keep going on. This has been like over 30 minutes. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me share. Thank you for letting me read your cards. Thank you for making it to the end. I'll talk to you later. Bye.